Hi Leo, so welcome to your September 2021 general reading. So I am back trying to um, bring some creativity out into the world at the moment. What I'm trying to do is keep these videos at 15 minutes, so following a suggestion from a Leo actually. So I haven't been doing very well, but I'm trying. Okay, so you pulled two Lenormands, and you're the only one I pulled two Lenormands for, because the first card you get is this. So this, I forget the name of this, but in ancient Egypt there was a healing technique, and we received our messages when we were asleep. So I think it's called sleep or dream therapy. So some of you might be working really hard to tap into the intuition function, the knowing, but this is about receiving it in your dreams. So sometimes when it shows up as well, for some of you might have gone through something on the lead up to it. So by the time someone got to sleep therapy, it was always because there was some sort of interference, there was something going on. Absolutely beautiful card, by the way. It's when I pull it, I go into this depth. It's almost like extraordinary in my ability to receive the messages, the guidance. You then get the Sun card, which is fantastic because it means you're moving forward to the completion of a process. Yeah, so something is completing itself because you get your ruling card, and the Sun always also brings vitality, and it's almost like I go into my depths to rest, to receive my answers, and then I come back. Yeah, then I re-emerge. Absolutely beautiful. It's almost like the moon and the sun together, sort of equivalent. So let's see, we'll pull 7 cards and we'll see how it goes. So if you can, Leo, support the channel. It's what keeps me coming back. Hold on a minute, I haven't split the cards yet. So messages for Leo. So what you want is a 9 of Wands. Because it's what you want, there's going to be some energy of boundaries. There's some limit line being drawn here, by the way. It's also a card of protection. The gift is the 6 of Swords, transition card. The challenge is the Libra card. So that's probably why, because you're moving, yeah, 10 of Wands in your relationships. So there's a completion here going on. The 10s always represent completions. You've got Aries in your money and work, taking charge of something. The Devil at a soul level. What a beautiful ending. I guess that is the Sun. See, in reality, Leo, there's really only 6 sun signs, because I know there's 12, but in 6, we always work with opposites. Always. So your opposition is obviously Aquarius. So really what that means as a Leo is balancing out your head and your heart. Yeah, so living with an open heart, but with an Aquarius mind. So what does that mean? Give me the right words. It's about deep knowing, following your heart, but under the guidance of this higher vision. But I mean, the Ace of Cups is sort of not your card, but at the same time it is, because it's, even though it's an emotional card, I can't help seeing it's the Aquarius Leo axis, so the heart and the mind coming into alignment. It's also a new emotional chapter beginning for you. And it looks like you need it, because the 10 of Wands in your relationships, the 10 of Wands is the ending of an oppressive cycle. Okay, now when the 10 of Wands appears, I'm not going to lie to you, the way that I see it is I've handed my notice in the most tedious job ever, but it's going to be the end of the month before the Ace and the Sun comes through, which means it's a completion process. So you might feel quite drained of energy, which is probably what that card is. It's all working out, Leo. Okay? It's all working out. Because of what you want is the Nine of Wands. So this might be a card. It's a card of protection, by the way. So sometimes when it shows up as a challenge, it's like, you know, being very, very guarded. But as the gift, you're trying to protect the Eight Wands behind you. But it might be having to put boundaries down. For example, I'm putting my boundaries down in this oppressive relationship pattern. It's not going to be happening this way. And as a Leo, Leos work really, really good. I call it as a technique in yoga, and it's sort of the energy of command, not bossing. It's more like, you know, the Queen of Wands, that she doesn't demand people act in a certain way, but she sort of does, but she does it energetically. It's almost like, now this cycle is complete. So some of you might be asked to put some boundaries down to shift this energy. I think you're probably quite tired at the moment, by the way. So the gift is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is an incredibly healing card because you've left behind the Five. But it's a work in process. It is a card of not quite arriving in the destination, but you're no longer where you were because the cycle's ending. You put a boundary down, but you've not quite landed yet. And that's how a lot of people, yeah, you want to land in the Ace of Wands. So you're ready to land in a brand new chapter. It's going to be towards the end of the month. So we can say, oh my God, the Six of Swords, a lot of people don't like it because there's a feeling that nothing's happening. Every single thing is happening. We don't say a seed's not growing when it's underground, but it can be, it feels a little bit oppressive and a little bit heavy, when in fact this is happening perfectly. The Justice, the Libra card, is the challenge with this Ten of Wands. So Libra rules our relationships. It rules about being in right relationship with the all, ultimately. But I can't help feeling that what is moving out of your life is an oppressive cycle in relationships. There's a completion process going on because of this card and the Six of Swords. I almost want to say you're in a recovery here. And it's sort of, I really, really want you to be in recovery from the Ten of Wands. But when we're in the Ten of Wands, the cycle's been completed, but there's still the residue, there's still the completion pattern going on here of being in this quite heavy energy, because it is heavy energy. There's no way around it. So I'm guessing the Libra challenge, it could be the legal system, it could just be, it seemed to me there's a pattern of being held back. There's a pattern of being oppressed here. There's a cycle completing itself, and you really, really, really are in process here. Loads and loads of rest, by the way. Loads of, deep, deep rest. You know, that deep rest when you're even sitting in silence for 20 minutes a day. But when you sleep, being able to access the dream time, because it's going fantastically. You've got the Emperor in your money and work. Fantastic. I am and I will. The Emperor is about self-initiating. So it's not a relationship dynamic. It's setting our own personal goals, because even though relationships are such an essential part of our life, so is our sense of our own destiny. Yeah, our own I am and I will. And that's what the Emperor does. He sets his course of personal direction. And even though the irony is there's no such thing, because what we do for one, we do for everyone. But there's definitely a sense of, following your own path. Absolutely loving it here, because it's Aries that leads to Leo. Yeah. So as you follow this desire to pursue your own impulses, that's how you find your Leo, that's how you find your solar energy. Really important energy for you. The Devil at a soul level, I think it's more to, I think this is to do with relationships. I mean, in the positive, the Devil represents manifesting, to tell you the truth, in a way, because the Devil and Saturn represents our ability to bring something into definition. And the 10th house, yeah, so we define it. So, like, I mean, cards like this, they all happen in the invisible realms, our soul. The Devil card is, I will bring my ideas into definition. Yeah, that's what it represents. And in the more challenging side of the Devil card, there's, because the Devil card's got 7 rings, and I call it the 7 rings of Hercules. It's like, and I think it's showing up in your relationships. There's the energy of having to overcome something here. But it's great because even though the residue's there and you're still in the process, it's sort of at a completion, because all the 10s represent completion. And you really don't want an ace without the 10s. It never ever leads to a good place, Leo. In fact, it leads to the Tower in a really destructive sense. So there's a completion going on here. So that's the challenging side of the Devil, and it's very clear with the Justice card over it. But for others of you, this is making Aries, bringing it into form and definition. Yeah. So you might be working really hard by the looks of it so the 10th house would be, this is my work in the community, this is what I bring forward. That's definitely going on, but there's also the message of heaviness in relationships. But then you get to the beautiful Ace of Cups. So I do see this as the Aquarius Leo card. Yeah, and then you get Leo. Can I look where? Okay, so her eyes are on the 6 of Swords. So why is she? I think you want to land. Yeah. So I always look. Where's the Strand card looking? And she's looking at the 6 of Swords. And when you get the 6 of Swords, you've left something behind, but you've not quite rooted. You've not quite rooted yourself in the new. And this is with the Wheel. Again, there's another completion here going on. Give me a minute. I think there's probably another message for you. I really think there's something. It's not that. I think it's to do with a relationship, because the Knight of Cups showed up. It's like, it's almost, there's so much being completed, and at the same time something new has been born. The Knight of Cups is a very light-hearted card, by the way. Got its shadow, got its light, like everything else. I like these in your career. Yet there's an energy in your relationships that needs to break through here. You're completing, and your heart's ready for this Knight of Cups, which is new, probably news. The Knight of Cups is a bit breakthroughs. It's a bit living lightly. And in reality, we always have two, you know, the law of polarity, that we're always in completions and new beginnings. But there seems to be, I think a lot of Leos are so ready to leave this behind. And you will be leaving it behind by the end of the month, because I think that Knight of Cups is going to bring a lot of lighthearted. Yeah, it's bringing the Chariot, which is about movement forward. It's about, I'm off, you know, I'm coming, springing forward, sort of like, oh my gosh, we're moving forward now. Yeah. And you've got one of these readings. So, I mean, we're in Virgo season, really, aren't we? And I'm one of these people absolutely adore Virgo as a sign. I have this, I love working with its energy, because it's very, very much, Virgo's so much about integrity and right action. But it works quite slowly, because it's an earth sign. The trick with Virgo is it's almost for Virgo, it's one step at a time. But maybe that's why it's got this incredible integrity to it. It's going to be okay. Everything's moving. You are a work in process. You really, really are. Something's completing and something's beginning. And career-wise, form, definition, you know, this is about personal direction. Because we have got a relationship story, but we've got a unique story that's only ours and ours alone to manifest in this world. And that's what Aries, Leo, to a certain extent Sag means, is the fire energy. Beautiful reading, 17 minutes, not bad. So much love, Leo. And we're going to see how the whole channel evolves. See, I don't know how, you know, see if we can get some energy behind it. And thank you for everyone who supported me. Lots of love. Bye.